are back. Blazing Dead podcast host Mama Death, Enzo, and Toaster. Today is episode 57, and we are going to be talking about the pettiness of people.
I do
Because we
dislike
all
people.
have that. What?
I do dislike people.
Yes.
Yeah. Now,
Except you guys. I love you guys and our viewers.
Right.
I love all of you. I love all of you.
he said, I love y'all. Sometimes.
Fuck everyone else.
Just that long look in the camera and just, I love y'all just sometimes.
Well,
But,
like you guys and our people that follow us are cool. It's just
camera.
dealing.
We are a minute 30 seconds in. We're not already unfocusing. Chill out, bro.
Hi, Max. He said, "Yay."
But so I got a question. Have y'all ever had an incident with somebody? Not a big incident, just just an incident, like an argument or a disagreement, something. And it's been months on end since this has happened. And that person is still nitpicking at small little specific things.
Mhm.
See, that's me, but I only do it to myself.
I mean, I fight with myself internally, and I be thinking about that shit
That's
on.
on a daily.
You right. It is a daily thing, but it's like I fight with myself internally, and I be bitching at myself like, oh my
Max?
God, you shouldn't have did this and you shouldn't have done that and shit like that. You know what I mean? But I don't be dragging that shit out months on end.
Max, if I could reach through this camera and slap you upside the head, I would.
Bro, what is he starting already? And it's only
He
3
said-
minutes in.
He said, "Yes, it's called arguing with a woman."
I mean, sometimes.
Okay,
Sometimes.
he fixed it. He put in parentheses, "most women, not you." There you go. That's better. That's funny.
I mean, sometimes
it is.
sometimes it's women as a whole.
Yes.
Like you could just hear me out, right? So you could be dating someone as a guy, as a male. You could be dating, a female, and you could argue with her in front of her best friend.
Yeah.
And her best friend's gonna take her side, and
Yep.
but you're fucked by two
Well,
people.
depends.
I do not wish to fuck by two people.
Because if someone is wrong, I'm not gonna side with them. I'm gonna tell them they're wrong. So.
Well, I mean, yeah. There are those women that there are those people, not just women, but there are those people in general that are be like, yeah, no, he's in the wrong. Fuck that dude.
Yeah.
But for the most part, man or woman alike, if you argue with that person, even if that person is wrong, that person's best friend or closest relative, whoever is going to take their side.
Yep.
Oh.
9 times out of 10.
Yep.
Max said, "You one of the boys" type shit with Sally.
Sometimes.
Nuh-uh.
Nuh-uh.
Can't. No penis.
I mean, that is true. There is no penis.
You're so lucky I didn't have a fucking drink of my coffee in my mouth at that moment, bro. It would have been all over
You would
my
have pulled
mic.
him.
It would have been all over my mic, all over my fucking laptop.
That's all right. You would have pulled a him because he had it come out his nose.
Listen, I would have had to clean my microphone thing, my microphone screen again.
He had to use both hands.
And before you ask, yes, this is full of coffee.
Jeez.
I have been awake
Um,
since 3 a.m. working, and I am still working.
Fuck all that. Max said, would you all agree that being petty over a dumb, insignificant argument is associated with not being very emotionally mature? Yes.
Listen, just say it like it is. It's fucking childish.
It is.
It depends on the subject because sometimes it is
True.
it's purely for shits and giggles. It's not
Right.
even because I'm actually mad at the argument. It's just
Right.
because of like, you know what, this would be funny. Let's just keep this going for a second.
Right. And Max said, Toaster, don't drink looking at me like that.
Oh,
Jeez. Enzo, I think I'm taking your man.
hey, yo. Hey, you can have them. I don't want them.
Oh, shit.
You can have them.
Somebody's sleeping on the couch tonight.
Bruh, I sleep in my chair. Like, what?
A couch is an upgrade.
Couches for sissies. He said, yes,
Well,
but
then
I'm
I'm a
talking.
sissy. Fuck you. I need something I can stretch out on. This chair,
Yes.
it's great, but not that good for sleeping.
See, what I do,
I was making that more towards Enzo.
I've shown y'all what I do in this motherfucker. I lean all the way back and stretch my legs onto my bed. Like,
Still the
Max-
dumbest shit I've ever seen. Give me the fucking bed. Fuck it. I could use a new bed.
Max said, yes, but I'm talking like if someone is being very petty, not for fun. Yes. And yeah, I'm just being passed around like that.
Listen. Well, first, Max, I'm actually currently going through a situation like that.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And
Me
second,
too.
and this has nothing to do with being passed around. No, this has
Okay.
everything to do
That
with
was
this has
that was
everything
what
to
I was
do
asking.
with someone just being petty for the fuck of it.
Max said I'm very loyal to Enzo.
Damn it.
You done bursted his bubble, Max.
My day's ruined. I'm leaving.
I don't want it. I don't want it.
But yeah, like you're going through it with somebody, and me, of course, I'm
Woo.
dealing with it from my ex. He's literally punishing my children for the things that they do here.
Which is the stupidest shit someone can fucking do.
I smell
I'm a-
arson.
I am gonna tell you, if we're talking about exes, this shit is really starting to piss me off. My baby mama is doing everything she can to take the things that I tell her that I'm working on with my son and make it a big deal, like she's the one that's doing it.
Mhm.
No, like I've been working on walking with my son.
Right.
And then last night she sends me 2 fucking videos saying, "Oh my god, he's standing up on his own. He's getting ready to start walking over here." Bitch, I've been doing that over here for the last 2 months. I've been working with him for the last 2 months. And you're going to take credit for what I'm doing? Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Max said, but a little bath with Toaster is not out of the equation, if you know what I mean.
Every day.
There he goes.
it's
You got him.
taking
You
a
got
bath
Enzo, Max.
with a fucking toasty.
Oh shit, man.
And then he died.
Yes, on stream.
Hey, I didn't get it on my screen. I was able to turn my head fast enough.
He said 1 for 1, baby.
Oh my god, hey, yo. Oh, my nostrils are hot. Oh, my nostrils burn, yo.
You can't be dying on stream, dude.
The pain.
Uh,
The pain. The pain.
The agony.
holy shit, man.
That was funny.
Uh,
But yeah, so like, if my kids stay up too late, or if they sleep out in the front room and not in their bed, they get in trouble for that when they go back home. This is a loaded
motherfucker, what?
question.
So guess who called the cops yesterday?
John. You said guess. You didn't tell me I had to be right.
Very true.
Fair.
But yeah,
Fair
no, I had an officer come here and they talked to the kids individually outside. And you know what's funny? The officer called me a few minutes after he had left and asked, he's like, "So what did you need?" I was like, "What? What do you mean, what do I need?" And he goes, "Didn't you just call?" I said, "No." And at first I didn't put two and two together, so I hung up the phone, and then I went and I asked my daughter if she told her father already. She did. So they were calling, acting like me.
Mm.
So I'm going to call that officer back again today and let him know what's going on, which I'm pretty sure he's already figured it out, but
Well, I don't know. Listen. Some of these officers out here, they be dumb as fuck.
no,
I'm
this
just
one's not.
saying.
This guy's he's really nice. Like, he knows his shit. He's really good.
I met quite a few dumb cops in my time with all the synergetic work that I'd done.
Right.
With them. I met a couple of dumb ones, and I'm just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're clearly not the
I've been pulled over by a couple of fucking retards. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Uh-huh.
You pulled me over. You pulled me over because I'm in a nice car. I have 2 women in my vehicle, and it's moving day.
Yep.
Make that make sense.
Honestly, as soon as you said you pulled me over because I have a nice car and I have 2 women in my car, first thought that came to mind was, who don't get no bitches?
Max said, "My bad, bro," and then 12. I don't know what 12 was about, but what's your car?
Well,
Shoebox.
my old vehicle, which is the one that I got pulled over in, was a Volkswagen Jetta. It was a 2018 Volkswagen Jetta, and that shit was nice.
Right. And usually cops pull over the worst looking vehicles.
I mean, you're not wrong, but at the same time,
I know it was just, a fucked up situation for you is what I was.
Well, yeah,
but they see driving sometimes. My
at the
dad
same
got pulled over like 4 times.
Oh, he said 12 is a slang for cops, and then I work at VW. What Jetta?
The first reason, I told you guys this story already.
Yeah.
But the first reason he tried to pull me over was because I was driving in the carpool lane at 3:00 in the fucking morning with nobody else on the road.
Yeah.
So you're gonna pull me over and tell me carpool lane is reserved for rush hour only?
Wait, what?
He pulled me over and said the reason he pulled me over was because I was driving in the carpool lane at 3:00 in the morning through Oklahoma, and he told me that the carpool lane is reserved for rush hour traffic only. Make that fucking make sense. There's nobody else on the road. You want me to do 75 in the slow lane and get pulled over? You
And
want me
what
to do
state was that?
That was Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
You want me to do 75 in the slow lane, the regular lane, and the fast lane, so you can pull me over. But when I'm doing 70 under speed limit in the carpool lane because I have a vehicle full of shit,
Well, you can tell that officer that he's full of shit because there are no carpool lanes in Oklahoma.
exactly. This was a 4-lane highway. It was a 4-lane highway.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a carpool lane in Oklahoma.
I already knew
So
that when he first pulled up behind me.
yes, you are, Max.
I passed him doing 70, and the speed limit on that highway was 75. I passed him doing 70, and I don't see him for a good, I'd say 2 minutes. And out of nowhere, this blinding light. By the way,
Who the fuck likes to work?
by the way, you are intruding my privacy by blinding my mirror and physically typing in my license plate for no probable cause whatsoever.
They don't need a probable cause to run your license plate.
In the state of Oklahoma, they did. At that moment, this was like 4 or 5 years ago, some shit like that. Hi, ghost hand.
He said, "Hi, ghost hand."
Dad?
Hi.
It's not a ghost
I mean,
hand.
all I seen was this.
I know. That is my youngest.
Grandma?
What?
he said grandma?
My grandmother is, may she rest in peace, my grandmother is deceased, but she was the definition of a nice little old lady. Like, I don't think she was ever more than maybe 90 pounds at the heaviest in her life.
Jeez.
Sheesh.
She was just a very small little old lady. Very nice little old lady, but just really tiny.
Listen, I can't say that about my grandmother. This woman, the German in her, you can definitely tell on a daily basis this woman is German.
She tells you to go take a shower often, doesn't she?
No, but she bitches, moans, and complains about every little thing.
Yeah, so even back then, they don't have to have a probable cause to run your plates. That's public information.
Your grandmother said you
in
had
the
trouble
state of
concentrating,
in the state of Oklahoma, that was public information.
Yeah.
Yes. This is a California vehicle.
Okay.
You were in the state of Oklahoma.
Just because you have a California vehicle doesn't mean that they can't run your fucking plate.
Listen. The fucked up part, you have your spotlight on my plate, blinding my rear view mirror and everything, right? And you still type in the license plate wrong? Tell me how.
Even in California, I don't think any state you have to have a probable cause to run license plates. Now, in order to search your vehicle, yes, they have to have probable cause. But just to run your plates, nope.
It is.
I mean, granted, yeah, putting it in wrong is his mistake, but.
But am I physically doing anything wrong? I'm doing under speed limit. So am I physically doing anything wrong? So
doesn't matter. Does not matter. No, it doesn't. No, it does not. You can run a plate no matter what. It's public information. You don't have to do anything in order for him to run it.
He also doesn't have to pull you over for it either. As far as just running the plate, he doesn't have to pull you over for that. I think that was the most fucked up part of it.
I mean, they can pull you over and ask for your license and registration.
I mean, they can, yes. That part,
but,
the license and registration part, is the part they had to pull you over for. But I'm just saying, if he just wanted to run the plate, he didn't have to pull you over for that.
But for what?
It doesn't matter. They don't have to have a reason.
Yeah, his own curiosity is reason enough.
Max said he didn't have autocorrect. Some cops read the plate when y'all are both driving. Just a suspicion is enough. I just found it on the That's not good, bub.
Now, I'm since I've gone over that specific story multiple times, I'm not going to go over the whole thing.
I remember the whole thing.
You remember it?
Vaguely.
Yeah. I remember it.
It's just like, I mean, to this day, that moment, if I didn't comply in that moment, I would have not been sitting here right now. But
I mean, I think you would, because they can't have you in there for more than an extended amount of time.
If I'm not complying,
they can only charge you with resisting.
As a black man in the U.S., terms and services are different out here.
See, I hate that. It's not.
It's not fair. Just like what we're doing to not we, but the state of the U.S. is doing to the Mexicans right now. That is not fair.
What? Kicking out the illegals? That's totally fucking fair. Don't even.
Hold on.
No. Illegals have already done the crime by coming in here. Do you know whose land you're sitting on currently?
Do you know whose land you're sitting on currently?
Do you know the laws? Do you know the laws? It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't fucking matter. The laws of the U.S. says that you have to come in legally. You come in illegally, you're already creating a crime.
See, that's not my problem with what they're doing. My problem with what they're doing a lot of times is they're shipping a lot of people back without officially verifying whether or not they're legal.
Yes. Without the official verification, yes.
Now, your first initial thing was to jump on my head about the illegals, which is not where I was going with it. It's not where I was going with it at all. Just the Mexican ethnicity as a whole, not just the illegals. That's not where I was going with it.
Donde está el toaster?
Doing anything they can. ICE right now is doing anything they can to search and lock up any Mexican they can.
No, they're not. They're not doing any Mexican that they can. They go off the information that they have.
Okay, because I physically have been witness to multiple ICE ratings out here. So
and they were probably
all of these people are legal. All of these people that they're putting in handcuffs are legal. So
not all of them. No, they're not.
I will wholeheartedly admit, after being a member of law enforcement, that while a lot of times they are justified with the information that they have, a lot of times that information is not the full spectrum that would justify their raid or their warrant.
But when they find out that they are legal, they come back. They're not just shipped out and stayed shipped out.
I didn't say they're shipped out. I said they're doing anything to arrest them. They're doing anything they can to arrest them. I didn't say they're being shipped out.
Yeah, in order to get the illegals out.
But you just contradicted yourself.
I find an illegal toaster.
I said they go off the information that they have. Yes, they can be wrong, but when they're wrong, they make it right.
No, not always.
I will have to ask about that one. Make it right in what regard?
Like I said, if they are legal, they are released. If they are illegal, they are shipped back.
Well, yes, but I mean, they more often than not they're not going to pay for the damages inflicted during the raid. Not to mention the trauma of getting raided. Like they're not going to pay for that. They're not going to do anything about that part of it. Especially when
doing their job.
I mean, that's true, but you kicked in my door, tossed a flashbang into my house, burned my floor.
It does matter, actually.
Based on information that you did not or could not corroborate, but you said, fuck it, this is enough.
It does matter.
I'm like, so even
suspicion is enough.
Suspicion is enough. Suspicion is enough for you to come in, ruin my life and my house potentially, and then just kick me back over it to pick up the pieces.
For your suspicion to be completely wrong, but in your eyes, it's right. Yeah, okay, make that make sense.
I'm asking from an objective perspective. Like, so what I'm trying to understand from your point of view is, I get the suspicion part of it. I get the information part of it. What the fuck is this? But what I'm asking is it right for them to raid, to not just to raid, but to cause the damage both to property, potentially cause the damage to people, even once their suspicion is wrong, they send them back, and there's no recompense for that. These people have to go back to their lives, their houses, and everything else and pick up the pieces. And they did everything right. They did what they were supposed to do as far as staying legal and doing what they were supposed to do on their end, but they still got punished for it, and they're now being penalized for something they've done nothing wrong.
But they get to go back to their life is the point.
Right, but at the same time, you said they do anything they can to make it right. No, they don't.
By letting you back.
Police precincts, the people that arrest these legals, and knocking down front doors, like Toaster said, burning shit, possibly breaking bones. They don't get they.
Okay,
they don't,
so
they don't
the
get,
breaking bones would come from you resisting.
I said possibly.
Yep, which would come from resisting.
Not always.
Not necessarily.
More often than not, it's usually just a wrong fall. Takedowns are not gentle.
So, in order to do a takedown, you have to be resisting.
No.
They're not. No. They're not gonna.
No.
No. Not at all.
There are some, not all, but there are some cops out there that will do anything they can to get you down, even if you're not resisting. If they feel threatened by the way you look, if they feel threatened by some of the way that you look, they will do anything they can. They are the law.
I'm not even going that far with it. I'm literally just talking about from a tactical perspective of, you knock the door, you bang it, you're in. You start giving orders. Someone's not moving fast enough. You have 4 people scattered throughout this house that we still have to search for. You're going onto the floor one way or another, even if that means I end up grabbing you by the shoulder and pushing you down onto the floor. It's not a matter of resistance. It's a matter of speed and violence of action. The quicker we get the scene secured, admittedly, the safer everyone is long term.
Okay. Max, before we argue about that, we have to find the percentage of arrests that ends up being legal immigrants. Exactly.
Yeah, that's why I'm talking about it purely objectively. I'm not talking about it from a percentage or how many of them do it, how many of them don't.
I wasn't
That's not my
talking about percentage wise either. Like I said initially,
You did say every.
I said every Mexican. I didn't say percentage wise. Sally's the one that instantly jumped in and said illegals. I wasn't going with illegals. I was going with the Mexican ethnicity as a whole.
They have asked me the same question 4 fucking times. in different ways. What the fuck?
Yeah. Yes, you can have reasonable suspicion. Cool. Do what you need to do. But half the time, at the end of the day, you don't have any repercussions coming towards you if you physically harm this person that did everything right and is legal technically, or you don't have any repercussion of paying for the damages inflicted to this person's home, or anything like that,
or the psychological trauma of having your fucking door kicked in and guys shoving guns in your face.
Max said, like, okay, it happens that they arrest legal immigrants by mistake, but how often, if it's like 1 legal per 1,000 illegal, then it's not the best argument.
Oh yeah, I mean the number's never 0. I'm thoroughly aware of that. I'm not naive.
Right.
And I don't expect the number to ever be 0 because these are human systems ran by human people and humans fuck shit up.
And they're doing their job at the best of their ability.
But like I've said, I've physically been witness to multiple raids. And one recently,
and they're doing their job.
One recently happened to be a few people that I went to school with that were born in California, legally, not illegally.
It's the parents.
So because the parents are quote unquote possibly illegal, you're going to arrest the people that I went to school with.
They have to go with their family.
They don't.
Sins of the father.
So you would rather have their parents shipped back and a 16, 17-year-old stuck here?
First off, again, I have not said anything about shipping anybody anywhere.
No, I'm you literally just said that they didn't have to go with the parent. So what? So are they going to stay here without their parents, or are they going to go with their parents?
Raid-wise. I said raid-wise. I didn't say anything about shipping anybody anywhere. I said raid-wise.
Max said exactly like mistakes happen, but they're just trying to do their job. And Enzo, they're not trying to arrest any Mexican they get an eye on. They're focused on illegals.
Have you seen what has been going on out here in Cali? Obviously not.
It should be going on. These illegals need to be kicked out. Period. These illegals are taking everything that
Are they human? Are they human? Are they human?
I don't give a fuck if they're human, alien, or not. They came in this country illegally.
Are they human beings?
I don't care. What do you not understand? They're here illegally.
Okay,
that's
so
the crime.
If that's how you feel about that, then I'm gonna say how I feel then. All white Americans that came here and stole land from Indians need to be shipped the fuck out.
See,
simple. You think illegal Mexicans need to be shipped out? Okay.
So the laws are the same 1,000 years ago compared to now. No. Laws change. Laws upgrade.
White man stole this land.
Oh my God, dude.
The Indians. Simple as that. You're sitting on native country. This is not white country. This is native country.
So how many natives are there compared to whites?
The numbers don't fucking matter.
Yeah, it does.
White man stole this land from the Indians, from the natives. You wouldn't be sitting where you're at right now if this land wasn't nurtured originally by the natives.
Neither would you.
I know. I'm not saying that I would.
And Max said, listen, if you're born in Cali but both your parents immigrated illegally, then who is in the wrong for an arrest? Exactly. The parents.
Right. But at the same time, what Sally was saying is the entire family needs to be arrested. I said no.
I did not say that the whole family needs to be arrested. I never once said that. I said that if the parents are here illegally and they ship them back, then yes, the child should go with them because the child can't be abandoned here.
Again,
that's what I said.
Again, I said nothing about shipping anything or anyone away.
You wanted to bring up the fact of the people that you were going to school with, and I said that even back then, if they were to do this and the parents were illegal, then the whole family would go.
Which is again not right.
Yes,
it's that right there is not right.
Yes, it is. They're here illegally. What do you people not understand about the word illegal?
First off, don't throw out you people like that.
No. I will, because it's a whole collective of people that feel this way.
And I happen to be fucking one of them.
Exactly.
If you're born in the U.S., just because your parents are illegals doesn't mean you have to be
just
fucking...
Just because you're born here doesn't make you an American.
Okay, then the same can be said for you.
It could be.
That doesn't apply to any of us, then.
Like...
It could be, but everyone that's legal here is fine. The illegals, the ones that are screwing up the food stamp system, the healthcare system, they get fucking houses, loans, they get all this fucking money from the system where the other people like me, are getting fucked over.
Okay. Do you know the hardships that some of these people go through?
Do you know the hardships that I go through?
My neighbor.
I don't give a fuck.
Listen, my neighbor, until recently, was illegal. And he had to spend 10 years trying to get his fucking green card by just living his fucking life. 10 years! Because they would not accept his U.S. citizenship. He was doing everything right. He made his own money. He helped in the fucking fields when he needed to. He had his own home. He didn't get no money from the fucking system. None of that. Just because he was not born in the fucking U.S., but he was trying to become a U.S. citizen, they said no.
Did he come here
for 10 years?
Did he come here illegally?
He came here with the intention of...
Doesn't matter if you have the intention or not.
It does matter.
No, it doesn't. You gotta come in legally. How is
someone supposed to be legal if you need proof of residence first?
No, you don't. There is a system that you have to go through in order to come here legally.
No, there is not.
Yes, there is.
There is a system that you have to go through to live here legally, not come here legally.
What? Same fucking thing.
It's not. It's
yes,
really
it
not.
Is.
No, it's not.
Because you come here to live here.
Again, so my story about my neighbor just went right the fuck over your head then.
No, it didn't go over my head. It's the fact of if he came in legally or not.
He spent 10 years.
It doesn't matter what he did.
The moment
he had to come in legally.
The moment
what do you not understand about that?
The moment he stepped on U.S. soil, he applied for his fucking green card. They denied him for 10 fucking years. It's not his fault they denied him. He did everything he was supposed to do. It's not his fault they denied him.
Max said, bro, if they arrest the illegal parents, well, guess what? They're going to get deported more than likely, even if you're not talking about that, Enzo. Question for you, Enzo. Hypothetically, if you were born in Los Banos and both your parents immigrated illegally and they somehow got caught and deported when you're 15, you have two options. One, would you stay alone? Or two, go back to live with your parents, even if you're an American?
Okay, so to answer your question, I've been living my life. I've been technically having to be an adult since the age of 15. So if my parents get fucking deported, cool. Have at it. I did everything I'm supposed to do here. I don't need to go back with my fucking family. No.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll bust my ass and do everything I can to try to get them back the fuck over here.
Okay, but
I'm
that's
not going
you.
with them.
That's you. What about all these other kids that...
But he asked me the question, and I answered his question.
I know, and I'm just saying. But, okay, he goes, okay, but do you think every kid would want that? Exactly what I was going to.
There are some cases that... Some emphasis on
isn't
some.
Most.
No. Emphasis on some cases that the child does want to leave with their parents.
He said, like, imagine an 8-year-old kid.
They're not required to leave with their parents if they are a U.S. citizen. Some choose to.
Bro is not going to become an adult.
Bro
I know they're not required.
Bro is not going to become an adult. Hold on, bro.
I feel like you meant that purely as a joke because it's Max.
Max. I mean, Max does find ways. He does find ways to piss me the fuck off on a daily.
I'm just saying, don't lose your shit over that. I'm pretty sure that was just Max being Max.
Oh yeah, it definitely was Max being Max. But like I said, he does find ways to piss me off on a daily.
He said, I'm talking about the 8-year-old not becoming an adult is what he was talking about.
Okay. So in the case of the 8-year-old situation, yeah, they would have no choice because they physically cannot have a job yet. They physically now if we're talking about them having legal family members in the US, then they have a choice. Go with your parents or stay with your family. Mm-hmm. They have that choice. Now again, some cases they don't have that choice. Some cases they do. It's not most, it's not a certain percent. No, it's depending on if you have other family members here or not. Just because your parents get deported back to fucking Mexico doesn't mean you need to go with them.
So when is America going to put America first?
That's a great question.
Now, can I ask you, what's the motto of America? What's the motto of America?
Land of the free.
Right.
And we are.
No, actually, legally. The fuck we're not.
Then go to another country. Be my guest, because their laws are not going to be the same or forgiving as America.
America is not the land of the free.
Yes, it is.
If America was the land of the free, we would not be having our every fucking move watched by the fucking government.
It's not.
Damn it.
It is, actually.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it really is. You do realize that the whole thing about the CCTV shit is connected with government shit, right?
You realize that you can go down to the corner store and go get you a bottle of liquor. You see where us women don't have to cover every bit of our skin.
And your point?
That means I am free here. I can't go over to fucking Afghanistan and be like this.
How many Okay, you want to talk about land of the free? Okay.
Kids are allowed to have an education. Women have a voice. What is not free?
Okay. You say this is land of the free, right?
130 works.
It's also part of it is also home of the brave, right? Okay, so if this was the land of the free, us as citizens of the U.S. should have full access to anything the fucking government is doing, but we don't.
No.
Then that's not being free. Then
No. So every country has laws. So if you want to take it that way, then nobody's free because there's always going to be laws in place.
Mm-hmm. But this is supposed to be the land of the free, right?
Yeah, you are able to do what you want on a daily. You are here doing a podcast with me and Toaster when you want. We can't do that in other countries.
Okay, so other than wearing what you want and going to buy whatever the fuck you want,
and freedom of speech, the right to vote, the right to go to school.
So, by the way, speaking of the right to vote, I mean, actually, no. Let's not really get into that side of politics. But
Max said, "I hope you understand, Enzo. No one said if your illegal parent get deported that you have to go back with them. We know that they're Americans. I'm just saying it's hard for kids to make that decision at a young age. And no, I did not say that they have to.
She did.
I did not say that they had to.
You actually did.
I agreed with you when you said that you had to grow up at an early age and that you could do everything at 15. Now, for the illegal parents, if the child wants to stay and is able to, yes.
Those are my words.
But if the child is not and chooses to go back with the parents, then yes.
Those are my words as well.
Too.
You said, after I started saying about people being raided out here and my friends being raided, you said if their parents are illegals, then the whole family needs to be deported, is what you said.
For the majority, yes, because the kids don't want to be away from the parents.
So that's you saying they have to fucking leave.
I didn't say they had to.
You just contradicted
I didn't say they had to.
You just contradicted yourself again.
No, I didn't. I said if the child is too young to fend for itself, then yes, it has to go with the parents.
No.
That's what I just said.
You said the age of 17. You said at the age of 17. You physically said, if your parents are being raided and you're the age of 17, they get deported, you need to be going with them, is what you said.
No, I didn't.
It's literally in the VOD. It's literally in the VOD. I promise you, I can go back in the VOD and find exactly where the fuck you said it.
Maxwell. Yep.
Like it's a simple fact of one small opinion sets off an entire chain of events that should never have fucking happened in the first place, because that's one person's opinion. Just because someone doesn't agree with somebody else's opinion doesn't mean it needs to be blown the fuck out of proportion.
Well, you're the one that's trying to be the right one in this situation.
So are you.
No, I'm not.
Yes,
I'm telling you the laws.
You have literally been arguing.
I'm telling you the laws of the United States.
You have literally been arguing with me over the fact of me physically saying that what ICE is doing to the Mexican ethnicity. I said I do not agree with what the government is doing to the Mexicans. And the moment I said that, you said, yes, to the illegals.
Yeah.
I did not say anything about illegals.
Doesn't matter. I was talking about the law, the illegals. The law.
Oh, duh.
Land of-
You come here illegally, that's wrong. That's the crime that you are being charged for.
Okay, so you're telling me that it's okay to arrest Mexicans that are here legally, but when it comes to Asians and Japanese and
No, it goes for
Cambodians,
all of them.
that's legal. That's legal.
No, it goes for
Right.
any illegal here. Any illegal. Doesn't matter what ethnicity they are.
Yeah, but okay.
Just because it's mostly Mexicans doesn't mean that they're going after one race.
Let me put this in perspective for you. I don't see any Japanese people or Cambodian people or anything like that being raided. I don't see it.
How many of them are here illegally?
There's a lot that just get up and fucking move out here.
Really? You
Yes.
know that? You know that the other ethnicities are illegal, but not the Mexicans.
There are a lot of ethnicities that move to the land of the free illegally.
And they should be taken care of.
But they don't. They don't get taken care of.
That's what ICE is doing now. And now everybody's got a fucking problem with them doing their fucking job.
ICE is targeting the Mexican ethnicity.
No, they're not targeting anyone. They're going after illegals.
Look it up. Look it up. Simple.
Just because there's more of one ethnicity than the other doesn't mean that that's the only one they're going for.
The more ethnicity than the other is being targeted right now. Look it up. Look it up. Watch your news. Look it up.
I do. I watch the real shit, not the fake shit.
News?
Not the liberal
on the news?
Shit.
On the news in the past 2 weeks. How many times have you physically heard about
how
ICE?
Many times, how many times you watch
Let me finish what I was going to say. How many times in the last 2 weeks have you heard ICE deporting Asians? How many times?
They're going after everyone.
They haven't done it once.
Yeah, they have.
In the past 2 weeks.
We got Haitians here in Springfield that are getting deported. The fuck you mean?
In the past 2 weeks, I have seen 17 different ICE raids going on over the news, and a few here in my fucking hometown, only targeting the Mexican ethnicity.
Enzo, by saying you're not okay with what ICE is doing to Mexicans as a whole, that means you're not okay with them arresting illegal ones, because saying Mexicans as a whole includes legals and illegals.
And okay, again, so at the same time, do you know the hardships these fucking people are going through? They're people.
What about me? What about the hardships I've been through?
It doesn't fucking. You're here legally. You're here.
I'm here
legally.
I've been here legally my entire fucking life.
Okay, and again,
I have a social security number. Do these fucking illegals?
It is not these people's fault that the fucking system does not want to recognize them as legal U.S. citizens.
No,
it is not their fault.
In illegally.
And some of them, some, not all, not most, some come in this country with the process of becoming a U.S. citizen.
Okay, and those are the legals.
These are also the people, like I said earlier.
You just
like
don't
I said earlier,
that we are getting all the illegals out, which is what we should fucking do.
So you're saying the people that have come here already started the applications and everything are still technically legal.
The ones that come here legally, that go through the process of doing the paperwork, should be able to stay. Now, the ones that come in illegally and don't do the paperwork need to go.
Okay. Now, you do realize there's a lot of people that are being deported that have started the paperwork process, right? But are still not recognized as a U.S. citizen.
Do you know how the process works?
Again.
Do you know how the process works?
Do you know how the fucking process?
Do you know how to come in the U.S.?
Do you know how the process works?
Yes.
Because I haven't. Again, I had a neighbor that took 10 years, and now she's gonna look it up because she don't know the process. I had a neighbor that had to take 10 years to get approved. So if this whole deport the illegals shit was going on, even though he had his process started already, he would have been deported.
See?
She's gotta look it up because she don't know the fucking law.
No. Listen.
She don't know the fucking process.
Listen. Non-citizens generally need a valid passport, and depending on their nationality and purpose of visit, a visa or ESTA, electronic system for travel authorization, U.S. citizens need a valid U.S. passport or other accepted proof of citizenship to enter. All entry forms, such as the CBP Declaration Form 6059B, and may be subject to secondary inspection by CBP. So you have to have it valid before you come here, not after.
No.
I just read it to you.
Because you have to read it. You don't
Doesn't
know
matter. I found the law and I told you what it was, and you're still disagreeing.
Okay.
I told you how it goes, and you're still going to disagree with it.
Let's take a step back.
Black and white right in fucking front of you.
Let's take a step back here, right? All this shit aside, right? Let's say my neighbor came here illegally, right? Which he did. Don't get me wrong. But he started the process. He started the paperwork process.
He should have started that before he came in.
Again, he started the process. He came here illegally, right?
And that's the problem.
It took 10 years to be approved.
Because he was illegal.
It doesn't fucking matter.
Yes, it does.
He's still doing the process. He's doing the process, right?
After he came in illegally.
Do you know? Do you know that he came here illegally first?
You just said it.
I said he started the fucking process.
You said
and he came here.
You just said, yes, he came here illegally, but he started the process.
Right.
You're supposed to start it before you come in.
You don't have to start it before you come in. No.
I just fucking read it to you.
Yeah, according to the law and regulation, you do have to at least start it before you come in. So that way you can at least get the CVP and have the information.
So now if you say, imagine what they've been through, now you're talking with your emotions, and the conversation is about law, not emotions. The second you say he came here illegally, your opinion is false. You have to start before getting here.
So you're telling me what I said.
Thank you, Toaster, is what Max said.
So you're telling me what I said has no relevance. That's what you're saying?
That's not what I'm telling you.
Well, I know that's not what you're telling me. But Max and Sally are pretty much saying that what I said has no relevance.
I didn't say that.
Damn it.
I read what he said. Don't put words in my fucking mouth. I did not say that your opinion didn't matter. That was Max.
In what part of my statement? Listen, in what part?
What did I ever say that your opinion didn't fucking matter? When did I ever
Can you listen?
That?
Can you listen instead of opening your mouth so much? Can you listen, please?
Can you? Because obviously you didn't hear
I've
it
been
right.
listening to 95% of the fucking words that have come out of your mouth. And when you start
And you
talking,
still
I
didn't
shut
hear
up.
it right.
When you start talking, I shut up. Can I have that same?
So come on, talk. I'm sitting here waiting.
In what part of my statement did I say he came here illegally before he started the paperwork? I said no.
You did. You agreed that he came in
Here you go
illegally.
talking instead of listening.
Because you're saying something false.
No.
You agreed that he came here illegally. You
And-
said that.
And he started the paperwork, is what I said.
And it
I
doesn't
said
matter
he
if he
came
started
here
it
illegally.
after.
I said he came here illegally and started the paperwork.
And
I did
that's
not
the
say
problem.
he came here illegally, then started the paperwork. No, it's not what I
said.
said. That is not what I said.
That is what you said.
That is not what I said.
You said but still,
You
the
can
point
hear me?
remains.
Yeah,
The
we can
point
hear you.
remains that he started
Bro,
the paperwork.
Literally like 10 seconds ago, you said, yes, he did came here illegally, and then he started the paperwork.
No.
And now you just
Yes, you
said,
did.
No.
Bro, okay, end the stream. I'll rewind 10 seconds back. He just said it like, he said, yes.
Toaster,
He
listen,
did
Toaster
came
just
here
said,
illegally, and then he started the paper. 2 seconds after, you say, what tells you that he came here illegally and then started the paper? You just said it like 5 seconds ago. Like everyone heard it.
No. I said, Toaster is right, by the way. I said the word but. He started the paperwork. He came here illegally, but he started the paperwork.
Yeah, but you
Afterwards.
can't come here illegally. You have to do paperwork first and then come. The second
Yeah,
you say he
you
came,
can't-
Now listen,
second-
You
listen.
can't enter
second you
illegally
say-
if you've got the paperwork started.
the second you say he came here illegally, the but don't matter because you said it. He came here illegally without doing papers. That's
I did
right
not
there
say
it
he
ends.
came here illegally without doing papers. That's not what I said.
Okay. He
And-
started them when he was here. He started them when he was here.
That is not what I said either.
What? Okay, so he did them
That
before
is-
coming. He
I
did the
said he
papers
came
before
here
coming.
illegally, but he started the paperwork process.
Right.
So
So,
okay, did
So-
he
the
started the paper
question-
when he was at home or in the U.S.? When
So
did
the
See
he
that
start them?
that part, that part, I have no idea. Right?
Well, it
That
don't
part,
make
I have
sense.
no idea. You guys could be right. He could have started it when he came here, or I
Then
could be
if
right,
that's
and
the case, he's
he
in
could
the
have
wrong.
started it when he was there. Right?
The
But the point of the fucking statement is he had the process going. They did
But
not
he had
recognize
it-
him as a U.S. citizen for over 10 years, right? So imagine if ICE and the government, whatever the fuck, did this shit 10 years ago. He would not be here and would not have his family that he has today.
Okay, but you can
then
continue
maybe
the
he should come in
argument
here
if
legally.
you can continue the argument if you ask him, did you start the paper before coming or when you were in the US? Then we can continue because without that information, everything we say, we could both be right. Until
Okay,
you know,
okay.
until you know that
How about
informa-
this? How about this?
Until you know that information, then we can't really
Yeah.
argue because there's
If
a
he
biggest
said-
piece of the puzzle is missing.
If he said he came here illegally, that means he didn't do the paperwork first.
Yeah.
Because you can't enter illegally if you've got the paperwork started.
Exactly.
Technically, you
Okay.
would be
So-
legal because you got it started already and they're allowing you here.
Am I done?
So technically, okay. You guys want to get into the specifics of things. Okay, let's get into specifics of things. Like I said multiple times earlier, this is not white nation. This is not
This isn't 1,000 years ago either.
this continent,
Why are you
It's
making it
not-
about us?
white continent.
Yeah,
it-
he's just trying to fucking use any excuse at this point.
I'm not. I'm making
you
a
are.
valid fucking point.
No, the valid fucking point is the laws are different now than what they were back then.
It doesn't
just gotta
fucking
deal with it.
matter.
Yes,
You're
it does.
sitting- You're sitting
It's
on
called
native grown land.
evolvement.
You're
It's-
sitting on native grown land.
So, what
And?
is the point that you are trying to make currently?
Like I said,
Enzo,
she
we're
is sitting on. Sally and Max are both sitting on native grown land.
We're sitting on
are you.
on the natives' land, but guess what?
I have
mean,
Indian.
Not me.
I
but
have
listen,
Indian.
I do too.
Technically,
Enzo, how is your argument good when you say, okay, I'm not in the US, so I can't say, but look, you say that you guys are all three living on the Indian, or not Indian, but native land, but you guys were all born there, so you're already, Like you're good. You're born there. You're American by default. You're born there.
Okay, so
Even if you come from another country.
So what are you trying to say? What are you
Okay,
saying?
you say that you guys are on a native land or whatever, but you guys are born there. Like you're born there. You're
So-
literally
we
born
are
there. So you're not on a
native
native. You're
to
there. You're
this-
born there. You didn't immigrate there. You're born there on the native land.
Exactly.
Right.
You're
But
born there. So
again-
like, what's your point?
We can't be punished for what was done in the
Yeah.
past.
You can't punish for like
the
ancestors like 20,000 years
we
ago.
can't-
You're born there.
we can't be punished for what was done in the past. Okay, so then
Okay, so
Yeah.
your case
know what?
your case means that only the people
gonna-
that are born native
gonna
in
keep my
America
feelings
could
about
stay and
that
everyone
subject.
else should go.
I'm
No,
gonna
no,
keep
but
my feelings
listen,
about that
listen.
subject way the
listen.
fuck out of here.
I'm not done. Listen. Your opinion means that only the people in the US that are born in the US but are actually native could stay. Everyone else should go where their ancestries are back. That's what your opinion says.
No, that is
Yeah,
not what
because
my
you're
opinion
saying
says.
that you guys are all on native land. So in that case, what you would want is that only the people born in the US that are native should stay. Everyone else that's born in the US because
What
of
I'm
their past
saying-
ancestors but are not native, they should go away. That's what you're saying.
What
Does
I'm
it make
saying,
sense or am I tripping?
what I'm saying is, again, so as Sally put it, thousands of years ago, the U.S. continent was Indian territory first, right?
Yeah, you're right.
White man came and took it over.
Okay.
They did not have they. Let me. I
Okay,
need to take
and
it back. Hold on.
you said it in your sentence. We took it over, so it is now
Right.
ours.
And that is the fucking problem. What?
No,
like,
it's not.
what-
How do you
what-
think anybody got
what do you
any
not?
type
What
of
do you
land?
not understand about that?
What do you
you're-
not
you're-
understand?
You're
Everybody
forcefully,
went to different countries to
they
conquer land.
forcefully took something that was not theirs.
Everybody has done that.
They forcefully have taken something that was not theirs.
Every fucking country has done that because there's been
What other
people
country?
before.
What other country? What other country?
The Ottoman Empire. The
Go look it up. Go-
Israelites, the British,
Because
Yeah,
I
see,
know.
Toaster's naming them.
Japanese, the Chinese, the Mongols, the Russians.
Okay,
That admittedly, that is in
So-
general how countries do get formed, and that is how borders get expanded is through taking land.
Mhm.
It's just a matter of holding it
Exactly.
at that point.
okay. Now I have nothing to argue with Toaster about because this man actually knows what he's talking about instead of having to go to the fucking internet for answers.
I just like history.
Well, to make sure that I'm right in what I'm saying.
Okay.
Oh, God forbid I make sure I'm right. Strike me down now, Lord.
So
He can't. That's
But
not
what's
gonna
your
happen.
point,
I'm gonna-
Enzo? Like, what's
I'm gonna-
the
That's not
goal
your
of
goddamn
the argument?
powers.
'Cause if you want to water it down, like, what's your point, bro?
well, I can't physically say my point because every time I start talking, Sally feels the need to nitpick at every little thing that I say
What did I just knock?
without letting me finish my fucking statement. So
No.
I'm not going to physically say my fucking point of views on shit no more because every time I do, it doesn't fucking matter.
Okay, but do you agree or disagree with this? Do you agree or disagree with this? If you're born in the U.S., you're a U.S. citizen. If you're born outside of it and you come here without doing papers, you're an illegal immigrant. Is that true or false? Just that statement.
I can agree with that.
All right, then.
But at the same time,
There's no but.
there's
But you can go.
again, there's a lot of people that start processes and still do not get recognized as a fucking legal citizen. It could take them 20 years to get their fucking their fucking paperwork approved.
Okay, but at the
And
same
they
time,
can't
I'm
come in
not.
until it is.
No.
Yeah.
No.
That is how that process is meant to be done.
It's meant
to
be
wait,
done like
wait.
that,
So
but it's
now,
And
that,
we're
now that
trying
Toaster
to
said
fix
it, and
that.
there's gonna be good with it.
You said what, Max?
I said since Toaster said it, now you're gonna say, "Oh, okay, yeah, you're right."
No,
But if it's like Sally or something, you say,
Yeah,
oh, because you're
exactly.
white or
no,
whatever.
no,
But like,
no, no,
it's
no.
not about the race. It's about countries. Like, who cares about the race? If you're from X country and you're coming from to America, then you're not from there. It's not a race thing. It's just, are you born in America? Yes. Good, you're American. Are you born? No, you're not American. That you need to do papers. It's that simple. It's not a
Right.
race thing.
But like I
And for you
said,
saying that it's an Indian land or like not Indian but native land, like you were born there, so it already happened like thousands of years ago. You're born there. You're an American. Like,
right now, what I'm saying,
I feel like we've lost the plot.
Yeah, we weren't supposed to get into this. We were talking about petty people.
No, not that.
and I had
I'm talking about the plot of this argument. I feel like we veered off too far from where it's originally gone.
yeah. So the
I need to check
original
actually
plot,
where the original debate is.
the original plot, or my point of view, was the pettiness that's going on with the fucking government trying to arrest any and everyone in the Mexican ethnicity. When I said that is when Sally instantly said it's about the illegals. I had said nothing about specifically illegals alone.
Okay.
okay,
so,
but if
yeah,
you say
I'm not worried.
if you say your
I'm not worried
problem,
about
if you
how
say
it
your
went.
problem,
I'm just trying to get to the point of what are we talking about, and let's talk about it if we're going to talk about it.
but if we're talking about that, then like Enzo, you're saying that your problem is that ICE is like targeting Mexican people as a whole, right?
Right.
But by saying that as a whole, that means you won. You didn't say I have a problem with them going after illegal immigrants or legal immigrants, whatever. You said as a whole. So that means
Yeah.
you have a problem with them going after illegal ones and legal ones because all of them are
Right.
are
Right.
Mexican.
Because there's a lot of these Mexican men and women that are completely fucking legal that are still having their fucking lives torn
Yes,
the fuck
yes, but
apart.
my point is, since you say, look, this is where your argument just don't make sense because you say, no, I never talked about the legal ones or the illegal ones. I only said Mexican as a whole, but it's not true. You're not pissed at them going at illegal immigrants. You're pissed at them going at legal immigrants that are
No.
right to be in this
No.
country. Okay, so
No.
then you're
I'm
saying that you're
pissed. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Continue. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, you go because you're contradicting yourself, but you can go.
Clarify
I-
your statement.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
said
Are
what?
you pissed? Are you pissed at them going at Mexicans, or are you pissed at them going at illegal Mexicans that are supposed to be there?
If you want me to be
It's
specific,
yeah.
if you
Are
want me
you
to be
pissed? It's a
completely,
simple question. Are you pissed
Yes.
at them going through every single Mexicans, or only you're pissed at them for only going for the legal ones that have the right to be in America? Which one are you pissed at? Because if you do say Mexican, that includes the illegal ones,
Illegal.
which
I
means
know.
you would be,
Oh, I know.
be against them going against illegal ones.
I'm against. I am. The basis of my argument was I am physically pissed at them going after the Mexican ethnicity as a whole.
So both
So
legal
you think
and
it's
illegal.
Yeah,
Both
so you're
legal and
pissed.
illegal. It doesn't
Okay.
fucking
And
matter.
Okay,
illegals should be removed.
so okay. So you don't think it's right that they go after the illegal one? Okay, got you.
I don't think it's right that they need to be physically targeting one fucking ethnicity.
It's not
They're
just
not
one.
targeting one. Like they're not only targeting one. ICE is like for every.
See, thank you,
It's for
Zach.
every country. It's for every country. Don't stop. A matter of fact, stop saying races. Just say country. Stop saying races. Like it's not about what race you are. It's about what country you come from, and that's it. There's no
Exactly.
argument after that. Who cares about your races?
And
Could be purple, brown. If you're not from America, they're coming for your ass. That's it. Nothing else to say.
okay,
No, that
so this is what Zach was saying. He says, I'm confused. So he mad about them taking people in general? So we supposed to just let everyone in the country with no questions asked? If that stopped coming here, if they stopped coming here illegally, then we wouldn't have this problem. Who else are they going to target? Africans don't come here illegally. Chinese don't come here illegally. And the main reason why it's Mexicans is because of the border issue, and they're just coming in groups. And the government's not being petty, they're doing their job. And that's the problem. Everybody thinks that they're being petty when they start cracking down on the law that they're supposed to uphold. It's not being petty, they're doing what they're supposed to do. The things that the Democrats never would do.
Now that's the part of the conversation I'm not jumping in on because I've got issues with every party.
I know. Every party's got their flaws, but it's the liberals that are the ones that are being more like physical with it when things don't go their way, like all these Karens and shit that are all crazy.
My fair share of stories with those working in security.
Yeah.
That I could talk for hours about. Half of them would be funny. The other half are...
Like, what the fuck, kind of.
Yeah, the other half are probably going to give you an aneurysm.
Yeah.
Because of the sheer stupidity that people come up with for their reasons for doing things. Simple shit, too. That's the thing.
Yeah,
like the simplest shit just gets so many people bent out of shape. I don't get it.
It does. But like with what Zach is saying, it's harder for you to come in illegally over a plane than it is to just cross a border. So it's because it looks like they're going after only Mexicans is because that's how many are actually here. They're literally taking over. Like there's so many of them that have come here. Like within the past few months, I've seen the Mexican ethnicity grow in numbers in my city.
I mean, wait, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't thought of it, but since I don't know who brought it up, but it's true that like it can't be seen as like, oh, they're only going for Mexican people or people that come from Mexico. But at the same time, like say someone that comes from China is trying to immigrate illegally, bro has to go on a plane. And once you're like you go through like security checkout,
and you have to have a passport.
Bro, it's like almost impossible. Like I'm not saying it's impossible, everything's possible, but it is so hard to like manage to like stay there and not go back to China or whatever. But if all you have to do is jump a fence, then you're fucking chilling. Like so that's I don't know the answer, but I'm saying yeah, that could be actually a good point as to why they're going a bit more for people from Mexico, just because of the simple fact that if there's 1,000 illegal Mexicans, there might be 1 or 0 whatever else country
you
that's
left for a second.
There.
Oh, I did?
Huh?
Yeah.
What?
And there you go again. And you're
well, I did that one. That was weird.
Did what?
There we go. Zach
Return
said
to checkerboard.
Zach said, I don't have a political side. I don't vote because I don't trust our government either way. True. But I do see what's going on in our country, like these protests that aren't protests, by the way. They are harassing anyone and everyone for no reason. Like, tell me how John Doe that works at everyday job has anything to do with ICE, but yet they flipped his car and burned it. Yeah, and I'm sorry, a protest, you're not burning cars. You're not throwing bricks at police officers. That's a riot.
Uh,
There's nothing peaceful about that. They're literally trying to harm people. All because they got a different view. Yeah, I seen the quotation marks.
Physically attacking someone over a difference of opinion is not is not how deliberation works.
And that's how and that's a lot of the Karen videos that here have lately been about, like, somebody carrying a Trump sign or something and they go and destroy it.
Yeah, again, I'm like, damaging property is not. First of all, it's not conducive to your protest or your point of view at all, because now
Right.
it makes you look like a crazy person.
Yep.
And two, it's not a good way. I mean, if that is what your movement is about, and your whole thing is, all right, well, we're sending a message and we're going to break shit to do it, and we're going to hurt people. If that's your modus operandi, then I mean, I guess stick to it. But if you're going to try to say, well, we've done nothing wrong, we haven't done anything, we're about peace and equality and yada
Right.
yada, then then be peaceful.
Exactly.
Show that part of it, because then at that point, yes, then the tyrannical government looks tyrannical, because like, hey, they're beating the shit out of these people that aren't doing anything wrong.
Right.
Like they're literally just standing there.
But
Yeah, they're standing there. They might be yelling, but I mean, guess what?
Yeah,
That's your right as an American citizen.
exactly.
You can
You're allowed
fucking
to
yell
protest.
at whatever you want to yell at.
Yeah, you're allowed to protest. Just don't get physical with it. And then Zach said, but yet I've seen one where they were attacking someone at a red light. They went to drive around, ran someone over, and now people are saying that a life is not replaceable and a car is. But yet, when I said all lives matter, I was racist.
So the shit about that admittedly pisses me off when people are like, oh, well, your car is replaceable. Yes, but this gang of people that are beating on my car, what do you think they're going to do if I get out of it?
Exactly.
I'm not just going to be able to get out and abandon my car. If that's what you're thinking is going to happen. As soon as I get out of that car, they're going to stop beating the car and start beating me.
Yep.
The car is my only source of protection in this moment, so I'm going to do the best that I can to get out of that situation. If that means that, okay, well, you're not going to move, I tried to go around you, you're still trying to get to me through my vehicle, I'm going through you.
Yeah, and
because at that point now you've put my life in jeopardy.
Yep.
So if it's you or me, I'm gonna pick me every time.
Yep, and that's what Florida is doing. The one law officer, I don't know, sergeant or what his title is, but he said if people are surrounding your vehicle and making you feel threatened, you are allowed to run them over and get out of that situation.
Right. And what I will say is this before someone takes me out of context and decides to twist my words and worldview.
Yes.
I'm not saying drive around, look for a protest, and go bowling.
Yeah, no, not at all.
I'm saying if you are going about your business, you're on the road, you stop at a red light and there's protesters on either side. You're minding your own business. They start surrounding your car while you're stopped. They start, either trying to break your windows, beat on your car. In certain cases, people have been dragged out of their cars.
They have.
So when people use that argument of, well, the car is just stuff and stuff is replaceable, I'm like, yeah, but people don't stop at the car.
No,
they never just stop at the car.
No.
I'm like, so at that point, what am I supposed to do? Let them get through and start assaulting me? Get out of my car and make myself more vulnerable to the 30 plus people around me? I can only fight one nigga at a time.
Exactly. Zach said you don't know if they have weapons either. True.
Exactly.
There's hundreds of them, and you possibly have your family in your car, and they make fancy new speed bumps in Florida.
They're people shaped.
That's funny. But yeah, that officer was making it very clear that riots are not allowed in Florida.
Yeah, I'm not saying that people should deliberately go and
Yeah, no.
go and
Don't search it out.
run over people.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
not saying that at all.
No.
But I do encourage that people defend themselves.
Yes. Hold on.
Like prime example. I keep having this conversation more and more lately. Like with our house, I park outside. My dad parks outside.
Mhm.
Someone. The debate I keep getting into is, would you, because everyone in this house is trained with a firearm and we have multiple firearms
Right.
at this house, would you shoot someone for trying to break into your car? Like, depending on how far they got into the process. If they get in it, yes. Because two reasons. One, I have very clear cameras over my driveway that see both cars. And the cameras themselves are very visible and will ping and tell you that you're being recorded as soon as you hit the driveway.
Yeah.
So if that's not enough of a deterrent for you, meaning that, okay, well, now I'm on camera, I'm being recorded, and the people, clearly all the cars that you can see, clearly someone's in this house. If cars are there, that means someone's in.
Yeah.
That means someone's in or on the property somewhere. So that means whoever is, you are being recorded, that means whoever is watching that recording can clearly see you and ID you.
Mhm.
If you still continue then to go through that process to either try to steal the car or steal the stuff in it, you clearly don't care about who's here or who
Nope.
might
Yeah.
try to intervene in this process. Not to mention just the whole aspect of, hey, leave shit alone that's not yours.
Right.
So at that point, I reserve the right to defend myself and my property because I don't know how far you're willing to go.
Exactly.
I don't know if you're just going to, try to break into my car just to steal the car. I don't know if you plan on taking that car and then ramming it back into the garage and come up my
Right.
driveway and then use it to try to break into my house. I don't know if you're going to try to break into the car, can't get in the car, and decide, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna see what's in this house. Because clearly
Yep.
you don't care about who's in the house or on the property because there's two cars in the driveway already.
Yeah. It's something like my dad always told me: a locked door only keeps an honest man out. Zach, he said, hell, I saw another one where they pulled a Latino woman out of her car and were destroying her car with her family in it. What the point, though? How is that productive to harass a Latino over ice? It's like getting mad at a tomato because of ketchup.
Yeah, there's a difference between a protest and a riot, and there's a
Yep.
difference between protesters and a mob.
Yep. And
I vote tear
when
gas and rubber bullets.
yep. And when
Non-lethal options.
when the riots start, the law is forced, that like they're forcing the law's hand by getting the National Guard involved because they're trying to protect all of the innocent people that are potentially going to get hurt.
Just hope they don't take the. And I know they've already sent a couple buses of them, but
Yeah.
just hope they don't take the Alcatraz approach and start sending the Marines to try to be police. Because if they take the Alcatraz approach and just tell the Marines, all right, you guys are going to act as a police force. Well, the last time they did that, those motherfuckers started dropping grenades in vents.
Yeah.
Now, granted, that was also in I believe, the 1960s or 70s when the Alcatraz riot happened, or was it Attica?
Shit.
One or the other.
I'll have to look it up.
But
Zach
yeah,
said
they
if
told
they
the
keep
Marines.
rioting, they will. So yeah.
Give me 1 second. I gotta take this real quick.
Okay. And I know that there have been some. I gotta look it up to be sure, but I know there have been some protests here in Dayton and Columbus, probably Cincinnati and Cleveland as well, because those are our big cities. Zach said, not gonna lie, these riots will be what causes martial law to go into effect, and once that happens, we are screwed. Yes. and everybody's just getting mad because they're doing their job. Everybody, like, the law has been lenient the past few years, and now that they're buckling down on it, people's got a problem.
I am on hold now. I'm calling in my dog's medication because he's old and has arthritis in his legs.
Aw, poor buddy.
His demeanor hasn't changed. He's just a lot slower now.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, he still moves around and still loves to play and likes all of the attention in the world because he's an attention whore, but he's just slower about it now.
Right. Oh, so we've been at this for a good hour and a half today. Definitely got some heated levels today. We're gonna try to stay away from these topics.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Yes. But with that said, Friday is Foodie Friday, so hopefully when we reconvene on that day, things will have settled down. I know we got into a really touchy subject today, and that wasn't our intent. Our intent was to talk about the pettiness of society, like stories that we are going through. But you know how it goes here. We talk about one thing and it goes to 50 billion other things. Sorry, Enzo. I know it got heated. I do apologize. But with that said, we shall reconvene on Friday at noon. Boop-a-doop-boop.